Hi, everybody. Hold on, things are still a little strange over here. This is not at all what it looked like when we practiced it. But be patient. We're on the air, I believe. So, good afternoon. I hope you can see and hear me because I can see and hear me, although that was hardly the point. I could have gone in the bathroom and looked at the mirror to do that. Let's see, I was going to take those off. I'm not sure I can see very well without them, so we'll put them back on again. I'm very excited to be doing this. Those of you who know me know that I'm not a techie. Never have been, probably never will be. But I was the assigned techie for this project. And, well, I'm not a techie, but I'm a prayer. And I've been praying that we would all stay connected and that all of this works. It didn't occur to me to pray that it would start up. So thank you for your patience. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope that you can see and hear me. Tech person over there, anything?
I cannot see you, but keep going.
Okay. This says I'm live. Somebody call and let me know, will you, that you can see and hear me or can't? This tells me that everything is working, so I'm going to assume that it is. It says that I'm live. I'm going to assume that I'm live. So I was at home, as most of us are, a couple of days ago, watching Carolyn Myss. I never do know how to do that. And 12:20. I'm reading Greg's post. Thanks, Greg. And she was doing one of her at-home podcasts. And what I saw and heard took my breath away. Yeah? There's a head going up and down. No. Oh, dear.
Just keep talking.
Okay, I'm talking. I don't know where it's going to go. So I'm hoping you're all there. Find me, scroll down, do something. This says I'm live and on the air. So I was at home watching Carolyn, and the simplicity of all of it just absolutely blew me away. There was a true icon of today's spirituality with no makeup, no hairstylist, no fancy set, just Carolyn. Carolyn and her computer and her amazing wisdom. It was simple. It was profound. I was breathless. Now, I considered showing up for you guys with no makeup and my hair not combed and, well, welcome to my office. No fancy set. But if you know me at all, you know that I'm not going anywhere without makeup and combing my hair. So we're going to have to do without that. And let's see how profound I can be. I've grown to have a great deal of respect for Carolyn, who is absolutely connected to her truth. And it occurred to me as I wrote those words in my journal that connected is a word that's taken on a very special meaning in these times of physical separation. Connected. We are all reaching out through social media like Facebook and Facebook Live, through our computers and telephones and email accounts to try and make connections, to try to find a way without touching one another to touch one another. Connections that before the current crisis we took for granted. And by taking for granted, what I really mean is that we seldom did anything at all about it. We didn't because, well, we just knew it was there, didn't we? Waiting for us. Anytime we wanted to talk to this person or that person, there was a way to do that. And suddenly there isn't, or there doesn't seem to be. All that's changed in the last few months, hasn't it? So, by way of making a connection, let me share with you one of the things I've been doing since we were last together. I have learned to read tarot cards. Turns out that I'm pretty good at it, which is a real joy for me, but that's another whole talk. However, oftentimes one aspect of our lives intersects with another, as it did in this case. Let me show you a card. This is the Magician. He's the number 1 card in the tarot deck. And over his head, you will see an infinity symbol. That symbol represents being connected to heaven and earth, with the human being, the magician, being at the center of it all, being the connector, and allowing the unlimited resources of the universe, truth and power and wisdom and abundance, to flow through him from the source itself into his life. That same infinity symbol shows up in the Strength card. See, over her head? This card is about the connection between the human and the wild animal, in this case, the lion, who is now docile. It is the connection between humanity and all living things. Perhaps on another Facebook Live, I can delve further into the spiritual meanings and messages in the tarot. I'd love to do that. But I had to share these particular cards with you today because they're all about connecting. I see me down here, and some of you seem to have found me. I sure hope you have. Connection, and we will make this. Connection is the opportunity to reach out and touch people. To touch people with love and understanding and caring. To be able to say, I am concerned about you. I care about you. And we have an opportunity to use these amazing technical tools that we have to accomplish what we most desire and need in times like this. Connection. Most of all, I see and feel the wonder of it all as our ability to connect to our source. The divine, God, call it what you will, the universe. It really doesn't care what you call it. It is an opportunity for each of us individually and collectively, like the magician, to let the resources of the divine move through us and out into our lives. Now, we can reach up or reach in, whichever picture most resonates with you and your beliefs. And we can find there healing and answers and peace of mind, comfort, clarity, love, all we think we need, because it's all there. And we can reach for it individually, or we can reach for it collectively. The important thing is to make the connection. One by one at a time, we can connect to the source. That after all, within us, and we don't need to be able to get out of the house to reach it. And it is also all around and about us. But the thing to know is that it can be reached and that you can reach it. Individually, we can do that. And together, we empower one another, and we may be more likely to do it if we know we're doing it together, to reach out of our fear and our confusion and make the connection if we know we're not alone. Where there is one, there is unlimited possibility. But the one has to know it. The one has to have faith in it and make the connection. But here's the good news. We have already been told, we were told a long time ago, that where 2 or more are gathered, there in the midst of them is the source, is the power. Not because God likes crowds better than individuals. I'm quite certain at times like this, even a crowd-loving Almighty would support social distancing. But because when two or more are gathered, the possibility for connection and the realization of prayer is amped up. If one falters in their faith, if one's trapped in the confusion of appearances or the weight of circumstances, then there is the power, the wisdom, the connection of the other or others to lift up the prayers of the one who may be overwhelmed by the world. I hope you can see it as I do. Alone in my room, I can pray, and my faith will make me whole. But what if my faith falters? What if I'm barely hanging on? What if the blanket of appearances has me all tied up in its weight? If I can know at times like that there are others, that there is you, believing, speaking the truth, praying the prayers of the faithful, then the bonds of my fear are broken. And I feel lighter just for knowing you are there. My connection to you lifts me and connects me to our source. And through you, I am made whole. Stay connected. Alone, loneliness and confusion can overcome us. The current situation has created circumstances and experiences that none of us could have foreseen. So here we are, behind closed doors, not to keep anyone else out, but to keep ourselves in. Who could have foreseen this? But here we are. So may I suggest that we learn to use this time wisely. Use this time to go within and to connect to a higher truth than the appearances seem to suggest, and to know that there are others, even though we cannot see them, others who are with us, who are praying with us and for us, who lift us in prayer when we don't think we have the strength to do it all by ourselves, who will embolden our faith when we feel it faltering, who will, through the power of sacred connection, stay with us through the darkness and confusion until all of us can once more open our doors, walk out into the light. I'm going to ask 3 things of you today, if you want to stay connected, and if I have your permission to stay connected to you and pray for you, just put pray in the chat box and hit enter. That makes a connection between us that I will hold sacred. Now, the second thing, if you are willing to be part of the connection, if you are willing to pray for all of us, including me and the technology I'm working with, I hope. If you are willing to pray at least once this week, or as often as you would like to, then type the word yes in the chat box and hit enter. So pray if you would like me to pray for you. And yes, if you are willing to pray for me and for the others who are in on this link and anyone else you'd like to throw in. Prayer never hurt anybody. And the third thing I'm going to ask you to do today is give. Now, before you say I knew that was coming, hear me out. If you regularly attend a service, I'm asking you to remember them and support that church or synagogue or temple or group. Go to their website and donate at least what you would if you were there. Remember, they are as isolated right now as you are, and they are affected by your absence. If you do not regularly attend a service and or you would simply like to keep this connection going, if you would like me to continue showing up more regularly and more timely on Facebook Live every week, then type the word more into the chat box and hit enter. And of course, if you are feeling an overwhelming desire to give directly, well, then I invite you to my website, relevantspirituality.com, and make use of the donate button that is there. Everything is expensive in times like this. It's expensive to keep things alive and keep them moving, and your donations would be greatly appreciated. Or simply accept today's talk as my gift to you with love and gratitude for your presence in my world. Oh, and one more thing. Apparently, based on the feedback that I can see and hear, you'd like me to be back here next week. Same time, same place. So while you are protecting your body and washing your hands, keep your spirit safe as well. Come back here again next week. And bring friends. Invite them. Send them the link to the Relevant Spirituality Facebook page, this page, and tell them that you will meet them here next Sunday at noon. Help change their lives for the better. And in the meantime, know that in spite of appearances, in spite of circumstances, the connection to spirit is unbroken. The connection between you and those you love. The connection between you and those who love you. The connection between you and those who you pray for and who pray for you. And with, above all, the connection between you and the source of life itself. I'd love to accept questions. I don't know if we can.
Yes, they can.
We can? Okay. My real techie who's been running around here putting up lights and doing all kinds of wonderful things tells me you can type in questions. So if you would like me to answer your questions, please just type them into whatever it is you have to type into, and I will happily answer your questions. And while I'm waiting for you to do that, let me tell you that I believe we are going to be able to take this video and post it so that you can watch the whole thing from the beginning. And we will work on that as soon as we are done here today, and I will make it happen somehow. In the meantime, I know some of you are here. Hello. Oh, good. Rosa Maria, so glad you can see and hear me. I'm sorry it took so long. I don't know what was going on. George, oh my God. Hello, George. This is really fun. I can see your names popping up. I hope you all found your way here. Hello, Aurora. There's my yoga teacher who I need desperately these days. Join us. We are going to find a way, as I said, to post this video on the Relevant Spirituality page on Facebook, and then you will be able to watch it. I've been talking for quite a while now, and I think some of you are just now kind of joining us. So know that you can watch the replay as soon as we get it up, and all the same things apply. Go ahead and put your stuff in the chat box, and we'll check it all out. I will find it, and we will hunt you down and assume that you want prayer, or that we are to be praying for you, or that you are praying for us. Please pray for me and the technology, because I really don't understand it all. Oh, Kirk, hello. Francesca, hello. Hello, Hempstead family. I love you. So, does anybody have any questions? Any of you who are actually on this and have found me? If you do, please. Oh, good. Pray is showing up. If you would like me to pray for you, put the word pray in the box and just hit enter. If you would like to join us in prayer and prayer for me and all of us at least once this week, you have to make a commitment to do it at least once. There's no limit. You can do it as many times as you, but at least once. If you are willing to do that, then put yes in the box and hit it so we'll know that you're praying. And if you want me to come back next week, hopefully really live and accessible, I'll figure out what I did wrong this week and we'll make it work for next week.
Keep talking. Talk about your thoughts. Go into your heart and tell them.
Okay. I've been told to keep talking. Nobody's ever told me to keep talking before, but I will because I'm here. I know some of you just got here, and I think it's amazing that with a title like Connect, it was the one thing that was the hardest to do. There was a little box, this box that said go live, and I kept hitting it, and it looked to me like it was working. I could see me, but obviously you couldn't. And I think somehow we established a whole different connection. You techies out there will understand it. Please let me know what I need to do to get this right. In the meantime, for the rest of us, how are you? I know it's been challenging these past few weeks. You go to the store, or you don't. You send somebody to the store. It's hard to be out there, and it's hard not to be out there, isn't it? And I think that's mostly because we really do want to connect. We really do want to touch people and hug people. The hardest thing for me when this first started was realizing that I couldn't just hug. It was okay to be out in the world as I understood it in the moment, but don't hug, don't get that close. Well, I'm a hugger. And if that doesn't work, I at least reach my hands out and hold their hands. And my Virgo kept telling me, no, you can't do any of that. And she finally made me put on a mask and gloves if I was going to be out. Do you know how strange it is to walk into the DMV? I had to go to the DMV. With a mask and gloves on, you kind of feel like, they're looking at you like you're some sort of a robber, although I don't know what you would want to rob at the DMV. Another experience going into the DMV. I was practically, other than the people who worked there, and it was a skeleton crew, but other than those people, I was the only one there. Have you ever in your life been to the DMV and been the only one there? No lines, no taken number, no chairs full of people, just me. Now, it goes very quickly if it's like that. And they were charming and helpful, but it was surreal. Hold on, I'm getting a note. Nancy wants to know how prayer can help at times like this. Nancy, prayer always helps. Prayer always helps. Prayer, if done properly, helps change our mind, takes our mind off the problem, off the appearances, off the tragedy that is going on, and helps us focus on something bigger and stronger and better. Helps us remember that we are, here's my word again, connected to something more powerful than the circumstances that we are facing in any moment. And that lifts our heart. It lifts our hopes. It lifts our faith. And when our faith is lifted, we make a stronger connection. See, each time our faith builds, each time we connect to source, we get closer to the truth of that source. And that is the power and the promise and the reality of it all. I know these are scary times. I know they are. For all of us and for many different reasons. I personally check off 2 of the boxes in the people who need to be more careful and need to stay inside and need not to even think about other people, if you can imagine that. It's frightening. I'm glad there are 2 of us in here. If I was only talking to myself, it would be difficult. But luckily we can support one another. And when I'm frightened, there is another voice that says, don't be, pray. You're strong enough. You'll make it through this. And then I think, yes, of course I am. I know that. And then I feel better. I automatically feel better. And I know what to do. Out of just such a conversation came this Facebook Live. What can you do? I can reach people. I can find a way to reach people without going out and touching people, without being in the middle of the two or more. I can speak my truth. And that got me off my considerations and onto Facebook. And I've got to tell you, I kind of feel like I created most of the problem at the beginning of this Facebook Live myself, because I was worried that it wasn't going to work. I know better than to do that, but I did that nonetheless. And I couldn't figure out how to check it out ahead of time and know that it was all right. In retrospect, I should have called one of my two brilliant sons who are all about techie stuff and said, what do I do? But I didn't. And so we had our stall at the beginning. But we're here now, and we're together, and we're connecting. And when we connect, we can know a higher truth. When we know a higher truth, we can change our lives. Kirk says he understands because he's a hugger. I get it. I get it, Kirk. And I know you are. I know very well that you are. And it's hard for us to come off automatic, isn't it? It's hard to come off that part of us that just automatically sees another human being and wants to hug it. My body reacts and says, come here, you. And right now we can't do that. So we need to think of different ways to connect. We need to think of different ways to be with each other than the ways that we have taken for granted. And that means we have to think outside of the box. It means we have to think outside of our normal ways of thinking. It means we have to be open to new and bigger and better possibility. Love and faith, Kurt, are more powerful than just a hug. Love and faith are the two most powerful things in the world. And we've got that. We can do that. Hi, Tamar. Glad you're here. Boy, people I haven't seen and heard from in ages. So happy that you are here. So, yes, look at all the people that are going to pray. Look at all the yeses. Oh, I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. That's a way we can connect. Instead of hugging, let's pray for one another. It's a prayerful hug. And in our prayer, know that that person feels it and is touched by it and lifted by it and changed by it in a way that a hug could never have accomplished. I am so thrilled that you are all here. So thrilled that we can connect in this way, that we can be together in this way. Accept this virtual hug and know that even more than that, my prayers are and will be with you, and that will make so much more difference than a simple hug could ever do. We are all in this together, whatever this is. We are all given the opportunity to sit in the silence of our own home, our own soul, and connect with a reality that is greater than the appearances going around us. Yes, there is a virus out there, and yes, it is sickening people, and yes, it is killing people. Yes, it is. We can't deny that. And we can pray. We can pray that we and our families are safe. And in prayer, I don't mean, oh, please, God, save me from this horrible, horrible thing. Because if you know me and you know the way I pray, you know that's not it. The prayer is to know that the power within us is greater and stronger, more virulent, more aggressive, if you will, than any disease could possibly be. To know that what is within us is greater than that which is outside of us. Just as you are safer within the confines of your home right now than you are out in the world at large, know that that is out there. It is out there, and we are in here. And if you are in here, it is even more powerful. Take this time, use this time. It is a golden opportunity to connect with your source, to connect with God, with the power. It is a golden opportunity for you to see the power of your prayers, to actually witness them doing miraculous things. That's a big question, Aiden. Aiden says, if people are dying, how does prayer help them? In a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. That's a very grown-up question for a young man. I'm going to try to answer it. If they are dying, if they really are going to make their transition and not live on this earth any longer, it can make that passage smoother. It can give them the faith that there is something more on the other side, something great and grand and wonderful waiting for them. It can give them peace. It can make them more comfortable while they are here, and it can make them more comfortable with letting go of being here. And what if they're not dying? What if it just looks like they are? There have been already people brought back from the brink of this disease, people who have marched right up to the line and been pulled back. We are finding medical stuff every day that may make a difference. And so we have to have faith in that as well. Have faith. See, the trick is not to be taken in by the appearances. Something looks like it's dying. It may not be yet. If it is, then we let it go. There is something greater and grander. I am sure of that, waiting for all of us. Something bigger than this experience. Something that we evolve into from here. But what I also know is when it's time, it's time. And when it's not, prayer works. So let us simply trust that it works. It couldn't hurt. Let us trust that prayer makes a difference for us and for others. If we can know that together, if we can know that our prayers are more powerful than this disease, this virus that is going around, if we can know that that our prayers protect not just us and those we love, but that they go out into the world and make a difference there and change, not just change lives, but change minds. And when minds are changed, then solutions are found. When minds are changed, a vaccine can be found. Things can be done that will make a difference, that will save lives. And then people that might have died might not. Thanks for the question, Aiden. It was a challenge. You're good. But I knew that. Wow, I am just, Kat keeps handing me notes about people who are here. Hi, IJ, glad that you could join us. Lindsay, wow, hi, say hi to your mom for me. Mary Alice, I'm just touched that you're here. I love you. What a day this has been. I'm going to apologize one more time for something that I probably couldn't have done anything at all about, which is the late start. But here we are nonetheless. Okay, we got one more here. Ginger! Hi. Dana, Cindy, you made it. They let you through. Did you sneak in under the tent? I'm so glad you're here. Oh, this is like old home week, and my heart is so touched. Hercules has joined us. That's a real person, honest. He's got a terrific podcast. You should all listen to it. And I wish I had that information in front of me. I'd give it to you right now. Hi, Hercules. Hello, all of you. This is cute. You can talk at me, but I kind of can only talk at you. But boy, how often in our lives do we just do that? We talk at one another without even realizing that the other person. Hi, Paul. Glad you're here. Is Lucy here too? I hope. I love you all so much. And I am so very glad that you're here. So glad that you're here. You have all, each of you, every one of you, made a difference in my life, made my life bigger and better and stronger. There's not a one of you that I do not have a cherished memory with and of. And I am so grateful for you being here. Oh, I see lots of mores. You want more? Okay. Then let's just figure that I'll be back here next Sunday at noon. And we'll figure out how to actually be live at noon. I've got a week now to work it out and make it work and cut my hair. It's good to be with you all. It's good to touch your spirit. My third child, or my first child actually, just joined us too. So hi, Patrick. Hi, darling. Hug your wife for me. There's all these pieces of paper in front of me that say that people are here. I am so excited. It's kind of like hosting a party and finding out later that people were there that you never got a chance to see, except that I have this wonderful note fairy handing me things, telling me who's here. I love doing this. You know I do. I love doing this. And I love being with you, and I feel that I am really with you and you with me. And together, we can make a difference. So remember, if you haven't already chimed in, pray if you want me to pray for you. Yes, if you are willing to pray for me and for the others on this Facebook Live. And more, if you'd like me to just keep talking. Not right now, but next Sunday at the same time. Okay, Nancy de los Santos, the wonderful, amazing Nancy de los Santos, who really was kind of the instigator for all of this, is instigating again. I kind of think she's a rebel rouser. Anyway, she suggests doing a Wednesday night live too, as well as Sunday. Dana, I know you'd like that because that's how we met to begin with, was a Wednesday night live. So if you'd like to tune in on a Wednesday night and have me do just sort of free form off the top of my head, which is kind of my Wednesday night agenda, just put Wednesday in the chat box and hit enter, and we'll add all of those up and see and let you know. Wednesday could be a lot of fun. John and Bonnie are here. Hi. Love you guys. I love all of you. I am so touched. I am so touched that you are here. It's been a long time. Too long. And it's time to connect again and to be together again, I think. If you'd like that, let me know. More if you want more Sundays. I'm sort of committed to that now. And just type Wednesday in if you'd like a Wednesday night live. I'm here. This is what I do. This is what I live to do. So I am thrilled if you want to be part of it as well. If I haven't mentioned your name, if somehow CAC's wonderful slips of paper slipped past me, I'm so sorry. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know that you're here. Cindy's trying to give me tech help. Oh, God, Cindy, I need more than that. Oh, dear, lots of Wednesdays. Okay, we will let you all know. I'll try for this Wednesday. I just need to figure out the tech between now and then.
That's my night. I do radio that night.
Oh, okay. We can't do this Wednesday. The lines are already tied up. CAC will be doing radio. Do I want to tell them where to find you?
Sure. Well, you just post it on here.
Okay. I'll post it to all of you. But CAC does a radio show the first Wednesday of every night in Hercules podcast group. So we can make that work. You could listen to CAC on Wednesday, me on Sunday, and then me again on Wednesday. Oh, you're going to be so sick of me, aren't you? But I never get tired of talking to you.
Randy's here.
I never get tired of being touched by who you are and the magnificence of who you are. See, I really do know that you are a place where God is. And there are moments when I feel it so absolutely that is like watching the bush burn. It is like watching the world come alive again. I'm doing what I know to do and happy to do more. There's also a podcast in the works. I'm actually taking a class so that I'll know how to do that right. And clearly more Facebook Live. Please stay connected. Allow me, if you will, to say a prayer. Let's get this prayer thing started. And I invite you simply to know with me there really is God. That the highest power and the innermost power is one, the highest source, and the inner source is one, the highest truth. And the truth within each one of us is the same truth. It is one. We are one. And so I know this, that the source of all that there is moves through each one of us. Now, we stand like the magician, with one hand up to heaven and the other pointing down into our lives so that we recognize that as above, so below. That we are the source of the activity of God in our lives. That as it is in heaven, as it is in our thinking, as it is with God, so it is for each one of us. And so we call upon that now, that power, that truth, that presence, that wisdom, that wholeness, whatever it is we need, it is there, which means it is within us. And we call it up now. We awaken it if it has been asleep. And we charge it with transforming, with changing, with connecting to the greater truth, and then connecting to the life within each one of us to transform our lives, to bring light out of the darkness, to bring wholeness out of dis-ease, to bring truth out of confusion. We call upon it now to make a positive difference in each of our lives, to heal that which is broken, to mend it, to bring it back together again, to shine light where there has been darkness, to bring love where there has been loneliness, and to bring excitement and vitality and hope where those things have not been. I know for each of us now that that is the truth, that within us is coming alive. That within us is moving now to change things, and we are changed. Life is changed for the better because we call upon the source of all good to move through our minds, our hearts, our lives, our experience. And we simply let that be so. We get out of the way. We cast aside our doubt and our faithlessness, and we allow God to come through. We are changed. And so it is. And so let it be. I'll see you next Sunday and then on Wednesday. In the meantime, know that you are being prayed for. If you have said you will pray at least once this week, then pray, please. And know that I ask really only one thing of you, that you can change your entire life by changing your mind. God bless.